Hi there, Sarah Nickerson with NextGEN Medium. I have a podcast. I'm the host of a podcast and I have a website, nextgenmedium.com. It's all about soul abilities development. Soul abilities are your psychic, your intuitive, your healing, or your mediumship. I think I did the big four. And my understanding is that everybody is capable of doing these things. It just takes a little bit of reframing and being open to it being a possibility. And so I have a podcast where I talk about that to lead you up to that threshold to see this stuff for yourself and to set you on your journey and get you on your way. So I do that with my podcast. I do that with development stuff that you can schedule on my website, nextgenmedium.com. And I also like to go to subreddits and see what people are talking about, what I can help answer as part of my truth, as part of my experience, and maybe it could help them on their journey, whoever they may be. So we're going to the subreddit mediums, and there's one particular reason why I chose this one, but we're gonna get into it here. Happy Fishy user Happy Fishy says, headline: 23-year-old male seeking advice on spiritual gifts, please help. All right, let's see what they had to say. Hello, I'm a 23-year-old college student looking for guidance. As this is all new to me, I prefer not to share my real name, but you can call me Fish. I have little to no experience with being a medium, and I'm not sure that I even fully understand it. However, I need to share my story and hope someone can help. All right, here we go. It started going back as far as I can remember, so maybe 3 or 4 years old. The first thing I remember is waking up every night around 3 a.m., never earlier or later, but always within the hour. As a child, I remember seeing large dark shadows and experiencing overwhelming emotions that did not correlate to the environment I was in. Alongside this, I also was seeing what can best be described as pictures and items. While these episodes were happening in my mind, I've also experienced physical reactions, including everything from pain, hearing voices, even driving myself to different locations for no reason. I was honest with my family about this from a very young age. And they have had me tested for about as many mental illnesses as you can think of with no result aside from anxiety and depression. As I grew, I started smoking cannabis, and these symptoms subsided around age 18. I recently quit smoking for work reasons, and since all of these experiences have come back. I'm not crazy. I get good grades. I have a wonderful group of friends, and I'm just your average 23-year-old guy. I went to an occult store recently for a reading as recommended by a friend and was told by the lady I have a strong connection to the dead and probably always will. While she described this as a gift, I have found it brings me nothing positive and only negative feelings and visuals, visualizing horrible things. Please help me understand this. No doctor or medication has been able to offer me relief. I'm a man of science, so the fact I'm even typing this feels insane to me, but this is my call for help. Okay. Dudes. Happy Fishy, who does not want to give a name, who does not want to give details, specific details, wants to rely on as logical to the story as possible kind of information. I find this quite often for guys. They are secretive about this stuff. They are ashamed. They are guilty, or not guilty. They're ashamed. They feel especially sensitive to people's opinions of their their mental health status. Men feel very strongly about hiding this part of themselves. And it's to the point where I almost feel like when it comes to development and being open to development, it seems like women are much more into this stuff than men are. However, another way to look at it is women are more open to the possibility, more open to sharing this as part of their possibility than men are. So I'm seeing this person who is a man who's gone through a lot of things that were kind of scary as a kid. What those details are, why feelings are felt, why there's a negativity to the experience is really something I can't relate to, one, but also if you can't give more detail, then I can't be more specific with whys, the whys to, help. And this is something, I guess, the reason why I picked this particular thing to talk about, and I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, is how much men are so insecure with this whole world being a possibility. And Mr. Happy Fishy, who doesn't want to give a name, doesn't want to give details, is asking for help, but not wanting to commit to providing the details. This goes out to all men, because I've come across several men who are so stuck in their insecurity of this whole thing that I don't think men realize how much of a disservice it is to them to not be open and honest, not only with what is happening in this instance of mediumship that could very well be a very strong skill of yours. I come from a world where everybody has psychic abilities, everyone has mediumship. It's a part of your birthright. It is a part of your skill sets that you need to develop, and that there's a framing around. And I believe everybody's capable of doing it. So it's really concerning to me, being a woman and having gone through my own feels of dealing with my egoic self, of telling people, hey, I think I might have psychic mediumship abilities, and does anybody want to get a reading so I can try it out? Being a woman, having to do that, there was definitely insecurity involved. But it really concerns me to see the lengths that men go through to really preserve the egoic self. And this is an example of that. And I hate to make you an example of men feeling insecure in general, but really when it comes to this subject, there is a lot of feels involved. There's a lot to do with ego involved. Am I crazy? Am I overly sensitive? Why do I feel fear? These are all kind of phrases that men don't want to connect with themselves, and that women are much more open to connecting with themselves. And women are more, and I say this generally, and I'm not saying it's one way or another. Women are this, men are that. It is not like that. But from my experience of development and talking with both genders, and there are more genders, but I'm just keeping it simple to men and women, I find that men are just have this huge, magnificent egoic wall that they need to really think about the fears that are associated with the everyday life they lead. And this is an example of the amount of ego that this guy has. And I'm not saying you're egomaniac. I'm saying this is an example of a man trying to reach out, but still being as guarded as possible. And it makes me wonder, how much truth can this person handle when it comes to being a part of the spiritual world? I'm not really sure what the question is here, but I feel like the question is, am I insane or am I not? I would say if you went through medical analysis and there was nothing there, I would say that that has been ruled out. And like I said, I believe everybody has psychic mediumship, blah, 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 abilities and skills. And if things are coming back, there is no coincidence to that. And it's something you got to deal with. And there's going to be some hard truths for you to have to go through, seeing how integrated your ego is, even when you're trying to do an anonymous post. So, little tough love here, but I would say there's negativity because it was something that was unfamiliar and scary to you. You didn't have a lot of information, probably, about what was going on because you weren't around people that understood what was happening. Being on this board, being in this community here on Reddit, you're going to have a lot of people that are here to support you and to help you through your process. I do believe there are varying degrees of mental illness that are natural for us. And it's hard with the definitions of mental illness because I think there's some stigma to it that doesn't help progress our understanding of how it's integrated into just being a human being. Who doesn't have anxiety and depression? Who doesn't? Tell me, because I want to meet that person. Yeah, so I think you got some work to do. I don't think this psychic that you met is wrong with their analysis. I think there's some work to do, and I think there's some fear for you to get through. I do not believe that there is negativity that can be put upon you without your control. So this is what you can take away from that, Happy Fishy, is you are in complete control of the situation. If you're feeling negative feelings, you can stop feeling that way. You just got to learn how to do it. And a lot of it's visualization and just cutting it out. The things you go through with mediumship, again, you have control. What comes in and what doesn't. How it comes in, how it doesn't. If you don't like it, you say it out loud. I don't like that. Speaking to whoever in the ethers. So you have more control than you think, Happy Fishy, but you got to let these walls down if you really care about knowing what the hell is going on. So there's my advice for that. And it's so frustrating to see this for men. Because it just seems like every man I've come across is this same BS of, I'm not going to give you my name. Like, I've had this so many times. I'm not going to give you my name. I'm not going to let you see my face. But this is something that's bothering me so much that I got to reach out to someone that I don't really know, that I think has an idea of what's going on with me. Like, they can't even be upfront and honest with that stuff. And I get it. Ego is a big deal in our physical world, but in the spiritual world, you got to let that shit go. All right, there it is. You got a question for me? You want to hear it like it is? Email me, nextgenmedium@gmail.com, or fill out a questionnaire, a question form, contact form on my website, nextgenmedium.com. You can schedule a reading or get a development session with me by going to my website, nextgenmedium.com. You can flip through my schedule and see what time works best for you. Hit the subscribe button to be notified when another video is published for the Reddit Answers vlog stuff that I do here on NextGen Medium. And like this video if this information helped you understand a little clearer the world of soul abilities. Something to consider for your own truth. Is it set in stone that what I say, everything I say is 100% what the soul world is all about? It is to me, and that's my truth. And you have to develop your own. So thank you for watching. I feel like I'm being a little grumpy right now, but I understand the frustration that people go through. But I also understand what it takes to get through it. Because I'm there. And you gotta be vulnerable. You gotta be vulnerable. You gotta let it go. So take that with you. Find your truth. Thank you for watching.